On today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to integrate shadow work. And in doing so, you will understand spiritually why we have an internal critic. And when you can do this work, you will understand the shadow self perspective. So stay till the very end, because this video is going to be a very treat in order for you to overcome your fears and master yourself. Welcome back, awakened ones, on another episode on the Love of Wisdom with this short series I'm calling Deep Thoughts with Brittany. So you've been on this journey with me so far. I'm so grateful that you've been here, so grateful for your support, and thank you for trusting in me to support you and guide you on your spiritual journey. But if you're new to this channel, my name is Brittany Fontanez, and what I do is I assist people to awakening to their power so they can find their infinite love within. On this channel, I speak about metaphysical, spirituality, self-development content, and just added astrology content, and honestly so much more that my guides feel compelled to share with you. So if you're already watching this video, smack that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification button after you subscribe so you'll be notified of when I post videos, which is 3 times out the week. And lastly, follow me on Instagram as I post daily for your betterment, upliftment, so you can walk on your spiritual journey with more enlightenment, unconditional love for who you are and for who you are becoming. And I want you guys, if you watch all my videos, I highly suggest that you follow me on Instagram, because even though I'm not posting every day on YouTube, I am posting every single day on Instagram, so I can assist you on your journey so you can be the best version of yourself. So you guys, even though they say stay in quarantine, go outside. I'm telling you, with everything that's going on in this earth, now is the time to let the solar plexus activate, because the solar plexus is all about integrating courage and overcoming your fears. And now this is a time on earth where a lot of fear is rising up. Fear of not having stability, fear of not having a job, fear of not feeding your family. You know, there's a lot of fear rising up on this earth. So now's the time to go outside and let your solar plexus activate itself. And it does so with the sun, with nature, and get in tune with the new earth energy, because divine is literally reincarnating itself into massive transformation within us and earth. So get outside, you guys, get active, and activate your chakras so you can overcome your fear and have courage. Because right now in the time, a lot of people are being fearful, but I think it's a perfect time for change. So go outside and make some new changes for yourself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. So if you guys did not watch my previous video, I highly suggest that you go and watch that before you continue watching this video, because this video goes based off of my previous video, gets more in depth. In my previous video, I talk about embracing and balancing your light and shadow self. So today's video, I'm going to be going more in depth on understanding your shadow self perspective, and I'm just gonna add a little treat to it. I'm gonna show you guys how to integrate shadow work, and when you integrate shadow work, you will understand spiritually why we have an internal inner critic. And when you can understand and acknowledge this spiritual understanding, then you will awaken to your shadow self perspective to the point that you will never ever fear yourself, fear your decisions. You will only have trust in yourself, and you will have faith that the universe has your back. So let's jump right into this, because I'm very excited to share this work with you, because I feel that a lot of people are trying to gain success and be better than their parents, and you know, create such a magnificent, extraordinary life. Don't get me wrong, I want that too. Everyone deserves that. Go forth with that. But the thing is that a lot of people haven't healed. A lot of people are trying to gain more from a lackful perspective, and they don't understand why they're not gaining more. It's because their mindset hasn't been healed from the conditions, from the beliefs that they were grown into and embedded at a very young age. So I think it's very important that people learn how to heal internally their emotions, heal their thoughts from one of negativity to one of positivity, and go forth with inspired action, because they feel healed internally to the point that they have power to transform their lives, because their past is not holding them back. They're able to move forward and understand that their past is just their stepping stone in order to move up higher realms into their own personal reality. So I think it's very important that we heal before we even try to gain more in our lives. And this is where I'm going to share with you shadow work. Now, what is shadow work? Shadow work is about you going internally into yourself, finding your inner child, and going forth and replaying your past traumas, your past pains, and visualizing yourself in those moments of your past pains or in your past period, and finding a way to accept it, forgive it, love it. Because when you can integrate love and pain, you transform everything. You not only transform that moment, it's not like you're going back to try to change the past. You're transforming how you think about it. You're transforming how you feel about it. And you're transforming how you're going to act from it. So shadow work is just you going within, finding your inner child and healing those past wounds. Now, the way that I integrate shadow work is by me. I take time for myself. You guys, I think it's very vital that we take some time out of our busy lives for ourselves. So what I do is I find a space for me perfectly. Sometimes it's just on my bed. It's on my bed. I always sit up or lay down. Most of the time I lay down because I love my body to be numbed out so I can really be one with my spirit. So I will lay down and I'll wrap crystals around me. Whatever crystals I feel resonate with that very moment, I put crystals around me, literally on both sides and one on my heart. At least 3 crystals. And I'll lay there. And I'll go forth and I'll breathe through my entire body, get rid of the tension, and then go forth through each chakra and open it up, activate it, and send it love. Now, when I do this, before I even go into doing shadow work, I make sure love is present within me and around me. I make sure that my guides and my ancestors are with me before I do this work. Because when you do this work, you want to feel protected. You want to feel like you are being taken care of and you're walking through with guidance, with no fear, just trust. So I do that. I'll lay down as I go forth and send blessings and love through each of my chakras. It's getting really windy, but it's so beautiful. So bear with me if it's hard to hear me right now. Or I'm just gonna let the wind go by. Beautiful, man. It's beautiful. But like I was saying, so after I bless my chakras, because I'm blessing my life, I'm blessing my flaws, I'm blessing my problems, but I'm blessing my blessings as well, and I'm blessing my future, I'm blessing my present, I'm blessing everything. Now I want to integrate that love so I could go forth and send so much unconditional love to my past self and to my past wounds. So I'll go forth and find that inner child. How do you find that inner child? You can put your hands on your heart if it's easy for you, but focus on your heart. Focus on that energy. I like to focus on visualizing a little ball, a ball of light, and it vibrates and it shines bright. And the more it spins, the more the light expands. So that's how I'm able to aim and focus on my heart in order to expand my heart center so unconditional love can pour out and flow easily. So I do that. I feel on my heart and I focus on it. And then I go forth into any feelings that feel off, that feel like it's disturbing my alignment. So I'll go forth and go within that feeling. Now, you want to go through with unconditional love and no fear, because you don't want to have fear when you're trying to heal your past wounds. You want to have love so you can walk through with maturity and wisdom and say, you know what, this is an opportunity to heal, this is the opportunity to understand myself deeply, and it's the opportunity to fall in love with who I am no matter what I went through. So let me understand where I came from and not fear it. And when you can do that, you can allow yourself to move easily with your guides, because you are assisted throughout the entire process. And then you go in and you find that pain. You find whatever is shaking you, rocking you. And you go to the core, to the root of it, to the very root of it. And you, first of all, you accept the situation. Like for me, I was raped at a very young age. So I had to go within and find my inner child and ask my inner child, help me relive that moment. And I allow myself to relive that moment. And then right when I do, I pull my younger self out, my inner child, and I say, listen, it's okay what has happened to you, but just know it is not your fault. The pain that you felt wasn't even you, and it wasn't because of you. The person who hurt you was hurting on the inside, and they needed something else to hurt too. But that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, and that doesn't mean that you're unworthy, and that doesn't mean that you don't deserve love. You are so loved. You are so wanted, and nothing is wrong with you, and nothing is your fault. That is shadow work. Accepting your wounds, reliving them, and finding an opportunity to love them. Because you guys gotta understand, when you can love your wounds, when you can love where you have came from, you can love yourself immensely in this moment. A lot of people are miserable and still live in the past because they want to change it, because they're so unfulfilled by the things that happened to them. You guys, the past is not meant to be changed. The past is meant to change you in this moment. So just understand that. That's how you integrate shadow work. By getting in tune with yourself, finding your inner child, reliving your wounds, accepting them, and sending them massive love. Because that moment, that situation, that trauma, that pain was the very reason why you kept moving forward and why you're still alive today. Now, I want to jump into why the spiritual understanding of why we have an internal inner critic. Now that you've done your healing, you know shadow work, you know how to heal yourself, you know how to go within and understand your emotions and why they linger and why they're there, and you tell yourself, you know what, I want to be aware of how I feel because I want to be in control of how I want to feel, so I'm going to heal. Now when you can understand how to integrate healing, now you can open yourself up to the spiritual knowledge of why we have an internal inner critic. And this is where the shadow self perspective lies. The reason why we have an internal inner critic is because, hence the ego. Don't ever degrade your ego, but don't ever underestimate it, and don't ever overestimate it. Because the ego is not here to control you. It's not here to guide you. The ego is just here for you to have courage. A lot of people fear the darkness, but you got to understand, the darkness is where courage lies. Darkness is the overcoming of your fear. When you can go through your own darkness and be your own light, you have nothing to fear. You have no enemy against you. If anything, you have that internal inner voice that is your ego, that is your analytical mind, but instead of trying to be in control of it and tell you what to do, it literally is your slave. It's assisting you because you're in control of yourself. Now, the internal inner critic is just here to teach us how to gain strength, how to be the best version of ourselves with courage and authenticity. You guys, I'm talking a lot about the solar plexus right now too. This is a easy way in order for you to activate your solar plexus, in order for you to overcome your fears and activate your courage power. But internal inner critic is just to teach us that our cons, our flaws are our true strengths, because that's where our authenticity lies. And imperfection is pure perfection. When you could go in through the world knowing that you had all these things happen to you at a very young age, and even though you knew what pain felt like, even though you knew what it felt like to be unworthy, you still walk through this life with courage, with an open heart, knowing that your heart's been broken so much, but you go through it with an open heart and with courage and giving unconditional love, is because you choose to do that. You choose to want to listen to the inner critic that's telling you, no, I don't want to stop you from going after what you want. I want to push you to go after what you want. Your internal inner critic is just your guide for you to have more strength to face your fears. That is a spiritual understanding of the internal inner critic. Now, everything I just shared with you is the shadow self perspective. A lot of us fear our shadow. A lot of us make it an enemy. A lot of us make it a monster chasing after us. Our ego is not trying to hurt us. Our ego is not trying to kill us. It's trying to teach us It's trying to push us. It's trying to make us overcome our fears and face the truths that our fears are false. That these beliefs that we have, that we don't deserve more, or that I am unworthy, or that this pain is the reason why I can't receive more abundance in my life. When you can say and see that the internal inner critic is just telling you, you don't need to believe in these things. You just need to understand why they're here and what you can do to make a better internal dialogue for yourself. And self-talk is so important, you guys. It's so vital, because the only person you're spending time with the most is yourself. So you got to talk humbly to yourself, compassionately, with so much unconditional love, to the point yourself doesn't feel judged. It feels loved, that it can be who you want to be. So shadow self perspective is all about just awakening to the fact that your darkness, your pain, all those things were literally just pushing you to propel forward, to be a better version of you, so you can grow immensely to your truest potential. So you guys, never make your ego your own enemy. Never think that your shadow self is a monster. It's only a monster when you go against your own self, and then when the ego creates its own entity, and that own entity becomes your own enemy. That is the only time that anyone can feel fearful of their shadow self. There is no reason for you to fear your shadow self unless you make yourself your own enemy. But don't do that. Don't do that. This is the only life you've been given. Find ways to fall in love with each moment of who you are and your life. Because when you can do that, you would never have an internal dialogue that's going against you. You would never have an enemy within you. You will only have a best friend and a true hero to spend time with, to the point that you feel at home. You don't feel disconnected from life. So if that assisted you guys, if that really helped you to want to have more courage, to not only overcome your fears, but to not only to go after your dreams either, but for you to want to feel like you master yourself, and that your fears have no control over you, and no matter what, you feel that love within, because you are aligned with divine, because you are healed, and you know that what you want to feel, your happiness, your joy, is the only important thing. When you can understand all of this and integrate this work, your life will transform. You will not even recognize yourself. But you will fall in love with where you have come from, and what you have let yourself become. Ooh! So if that resonated with you and that helped you want to go forth and really just give your best to this universe, because you have the knowledge now that the universe is going to give you your best, when you want to choose to show up and give your best because you want to feel your best, you will transform your life. You will be the captain of your soul and the master of your destiny. So if this video resonated with you and it sparked up your soul, and it just sended you massive inspiration for you to want to take action, or for you just to want to let yourself just be and love who you are right now, smack that like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification button so you'll be notified of when I post videos, which is 3 times out the week. So if this resonated with you guys, hit that like button, follow me on Instagram, send me some comments if you want. If you have a particular thing in your life that you need assistance on, write in the comments what you need assistance with, and I'll make a video on that. But until then, you guys, I love you. Get outside, enjoy